Now we're... Hello, my name is Blanco, the artsysister, and today we're continuing with chapter 6 of La Casa, or the house, written by me. The time for lunch eventually came for the small children. Normally the teacher had the students sit in a circle and eat lunch and eat and share their lunch together. While looking at the lunch bags over the top, she noticed a baby bottle. She had the children head out and she left Lucero there. Pointing to the milk bottle, she said, "The kids are going to eat you alive if they see you drinking from a bottle. You can drink it as it is now, but tomorrow bring the milk in a regular bottle." Lucero nodded in response. The teacher frowned when she noticed that the girl had done nothing all day. She figured that the girl was a tough nut to crack, but at least she was quiet. The teacher preferred silent student over a noisy, disruptive shout any day of the week. When the teacher left the room, Lucero drank her bottle quickly. She noticed the time and she figured she had about 20 minutes to escape. Silently, she tiptoed across her classroom. Eventually, she walked towards the entrance. Some of the teachers and students noticed her, but her nonchalant behavior did not raise any eyebrows. They figured she had a specific charge or something. Lucero saw some of the students leaving the school, and she got in line behind them. The door was eventually open, and Lucero was free. She trailed behind them for a bit before doubling back and starting to make her way home. She ran a bit, but then she decided to walk the rest of the way home. She was already pretty far away from the school, and when she got to the park, she sat down a bit in front of the bust of Jose Marti. She ate her bread and drank from a small bottle of water she had before continuing the rest of the way. Eventually, she reached a block that had large trees with caterpillars. She then heard the barking of the dog. She saw a girl her age running toward her. Getting the hint, Lucero ran back, crossing the street and nearly getting ran over by a bike. She found the only tree that she could climb and she perched up there. The girl noticed Lucero on top of the tree and she also climbed up there. Moments later, about 4 dogs crowded under the tree with their barking and snapping of teeth. The girl on top of the tree with Lucero was wearing a blue kerchief. She kept saying to the dog, "Shoo, scram!" Lucero broke a nearby branch and she threw it. One of the dogs went away and brought back the stick. Lucero reached down and she took the stick, and then she threw the stick once again. This time a couple of more dogs followed after it. All the while, the girl upset Lucero with mild amusement. She said to herself, "Why didn't I think of that?" "Because it is not going to work," said Lucero. She added, "See, only the former domestic dog chase the stick. The others are not going to leave us alone." Your intimidation tactic might work if only you could hurt your nerve," explained Lucero. "That's easier said than done," complained the girl. "I have an idea," said Lucero. Lucero started yawning, and the dogs yawned as well. She then nestled on her branch with her purse and she pretended to fall asleep. The dogs turned their heads from Lucero and started focusing on the other girl. The girl mimicked Lucero's action, but she could not calm herself. The dogs could smell her adrenaline and heart pumping. They stopped barking and they just sat down on the floor, wagging their tails happily. Eventually, they heard more barking in a different part of the park. The dogs, hearing the excitement of the peers, started running. The girl beside Lucero left the tree and started running back home. Lucero followed behind at a much slower pace. She was tired and she decided to just power walk instead. As long as the girl was within her sight, Lucero could find her way back home. Despite taking this road many times, Lucero could not remember the way back. The only thing she did remember was that the girl was familiar. Lucero had met the girl on her birthday. After rattling her memory a bit, Lucero remembered that she was called Jennifer, with a Y. It was one of the most common names at the time. Lucero knew about 5 other girls with the same name. This Jennifer was a year older than Lucero. She had black curly hair, cinnamon skin, and bright green eyes. She was in the regular habit of skipping classes. As for the dog, the impersonate person that had drawn their attention was an old man on a bike. He was not familiar with the stray problem in Isabel la Católica. I thought he had seemed like an easier target for Silver Eye. Silver Eye was the name that the children used to call the leader of the stray the stray dog pack. He was a 7-year-old mixed breed dog. The strays in Cuba have been crossbreeding for more than 40 years. Most of them were medium height, with a medium face and numerous different colors. As for Silver Eye, he had gray color, with a strong muscle body similar to a bulldog. There was some greyhound in the mix. Still, the snout was medium-sized in length and he had short, droopy ears. Despite his size, he was a nasty fellow. When he beat you, he did not let go. This was a testament to his bulldog great-grandfather. Most of the dogs in the pack were somewhat related to them, so they shared the same speed. Whenever a stray incidentally bred with a pedigree dog, some of the strays became more dominant. During Silver Eye's time, his father had bred with an elegant greyhound that had been smuggled from the United States. When the owner saw that the lady had given birth to something that did not look like a greyhound, he was sent to the street. His fierce attitude allowed Silver Eye to rise up in the canine society. Now he was the alpha of that territory. He had the triple combination of being swift, strong, and cunning. Though from strictly eyeballing the dog, he did not look remotely intimidating. None of the humans knew where the stupid dog had come from. Before they had a normal problem with strays, but when Silver Eye took over the pack, the situation became intolerable. Since he had buried his tactics, the people in Isabel la Católica were always in suspense. Still, he was most common on the parks during the weekday mornings. The reason for that was that there were less people running about. It was easier to peg off humans if they were in lesser number. Neither Lucero nor Jennifer were aware of this trend, and so they were at the mercy of Silver Eye. But now Lucero was almost out of the territory of Silver Eye. Before she got out, she heard a growling behind her. Slowly, she removed her backpack and she placed it before her like a shield. Behind her was old Silver Eye. His mouth was red with fresh blood. Lucero took a step back and the dog took a step forward. She reached into her pocket and she took out a piece of bread she had not finished. Instead of throwing it at the dog, she held it out for him. Silver Eye, who loved eating bread, drew a little closer. He licked the bread and he started nibbling at it. Lucero took her other hand and she petted the dog. The dog lowered his ear when he saw Lucero's hand drawing closer. He relaxed somewhat when he noticed it was a simple pat on the head. Stray dogs rarely receive kind treatment. It was always yelling and the throwing of rocks or sticks. Lucero pulled back the bread a bit and the dog followed after the meal. Eventually she placed it gingerly on the floor for Silver Eye to eat. When she concluded this venture, she finished getting out of the park. She turned a corner on the block and then she stopped. As she rattled her brain a bit trying to remember the way home, she did not have to sing long before Jennifer came back for her. "I thought you were dead," said Jennifer, taking her hand. "I might have been, but I have a way with animals, just like one of those Disney princesses," said Lucero. "Which one, Aurora, Cinderella, or Snow White?" asked Jennifer as they continued walking. "I think Snow White. Mother said she wished for me in the same fashion as Snow White was wished for," said Lucero. "I don't remember the wishing part. Then again, it's been ages since I've seen the movie," said Jennifer. "I think it was in a book. Most of the ones in my house are pretty boring. One time I tried reading Peter Pan and Wendy, and I thought this was the book that inspired the movie. Anyhow, the book was boring, but it did have nice pictures. I don't like reading books. I don't like reading books that don't have pictures." "Why do you leave school?" asked Jennifer. "Because it was my first day," said Lucero. "Well, you haven't given it a proper chance. Once you get going there for a couple of weeks, you're bound to find a reason to avoid going there altogether. The boys and girls lift up your skirts whenever they get a chance. Some pull your hair, others take your books, and the teachers steal your lunch. I left because during this time of the month, the teachers get more aggressive than usual." "But why can't I study from home?" asked Lucero. "Because," started thinking Jennifer. Eventually she came out with the answer that her mother told her. "Because Fidel Castro says so." "Oh, I suppose that is a good reason as any, all things considered." She at least was pleased to know that it wasn't some arbitrary whim of her parents. Around the late afternoon, Angelica went to pick up Efracio. His day hadn't gone well. The teacher was making a big fuss over his calligraphy that seemed to get worse by the day. Efracio knew he needed glasses to see from across, but he was not keen on getting them. The reason was not bully related. Rather, he thought it was rather he thought that his sight problem was something that would get better over time. By putting the paper on lens, he could at least make out somewhat what he wrote. The problem was a loss in accuracy. His mind was pretty distracted as a whole. He could not wait till next year for the three wise men to come. He wanted them to bring them an Atari. He had played it a couple of times in Yuri's house. Still, he wanted one that he could play at home. When it came time to leave, Artsy looked for his sister's classroom. She was not there. He guessed that it might occur, but he never thought that she would follow through with it. Lucero had always been impulsive, and her impulsive behavior had gotten her in trouble when she was younger due to her klepto tendency. Angelica put a stop to this by making Lucero swear by God that she would never steal again. If she ever did break her promise, God was gonna smite her. Ever since then, Lucero did not steal anything, but she found ways of getting around her little promise. The promise said nothing about taking lost items or items that did not have an explicit owner. This was part of the reason why Lucero was always looking down when she walked. To this measure, she had found a couple of toy soldiers, some cards and crayons and marbles. Her favorite marble was a black one that she called Zorro. Sometimes they would play pretend using the marbles and toy soldiers. The Zorro TV show was being played at the time, so it was something that the children watched on a regular basis. It was oftentimes the parents would see the siblings fighting one another with sticks. The overall goal was to disarm the player. They had gotten many bruises in their fingers due to the nature of the game. After asking around, nobody seemed to be able to tell a phrase or Lucero's whereabouts. Eventually, he had no other choice but to face his mother without his sister. Angelica naturally gave him an earful. In the end, she had to concede the fact that due to the scheduling issue, it wasn't easy for Fazio to lose track of his sister. Eventually, the two returned home and they found Lucero sitting on the porch waiting for them. The next door neighbor was keeping an eye on her. The one who seemed the most despondent was Lucero. She had hoped that Irina would have let her in. However, the neighbors told her that Irina had left on a short train with one of her clients. Both had gone to the bridge to place a lock there. It was a way of creating a binding. The client wanted to be with her lover forever, though she had Irina make for her an amarre or binding. The bridge had hundreds of locks with different makes and designs. All had the same purpose. Irina was not too fond of bindings, in part because she knew that the Santos liked for love to happen naturally. You could bind a person to you, but like any prisoner, you could not make the person love you. Love is something that is given, not taken or demanded. It can only happen between two individuals who are truly free. This is at least what Irina believed. She was a bit of a romantic at times, always hoping to find her true love. As Irina saw the waters of the river pass by, she abstracted herself in the elusive idea. And as all people must wake up at some point to reality to survive. In this respect, Irina had a perfect balance of having her head in the clouds while having her feet firmly planted in the ground. The day rolled rather peacefully by. Most of the days in Cuba rode at a leisurely pace. At night, Eduardo came home to find his family together. He smiled when he noted that Eufrasia and Lucero were in one piece. The smell of roasted chicken was filling out every bedroom. The scent of chicken was a good sign. It was common for the Cuban government to relax its grip every once in a while. Eduardo's day had been pretty busy. After working 10 hours, he was finally able to return home around 9 p.m. Alright, we'll continue. I'll finish up this chapter soon in the next video. Bye bye.